So we're going to have a quick look at changing between units of speed. So the two directions we're going to go in here are in our box. So we're going to go from meters per second into kilometers per hour, and we're going to go from kilometers per hour into meters per second. So firstly, thinking about what meters and kilometers, what seconds, what hours actually are when you relate them to each other. So you should know, okay, that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters, and then 1 hour, okay, is going to be equal to 3,600 seconds, and that's simply just because you do 60 minutes in an hour and 60 seconds in a minute, so you do 60 times 60 gets you 3,600. So we're going to use these three things just to try and work out what this is going to look like. So if we take 7 meters per second and we want to change that into something kilometers per hour, okay, if we want to change the meters into kilometers, that means we need to divide by 1,000. Okay. If we want to change the seconds into hours, okay, that means we need to divide by 3,600. Okay, but, and this is where this is important, this is on the bottom line. Okay, so if that is on the bottom line, then that's actually going to be the same as timesing by 3,600. Okay, so if we have a look then at what that's going to actually look like, you're going to have 7 multiplied by 3,600, because that is the same as dividing by 3,600 on the bottom line. Divide then that by 1,000. So we can cancel 2 zeros top and bottom, which means we've got 7 multiplied by 36, which you can work out to be 252. Divide that by 10, so your answer is 25.2 kilometers per hour. Okay, so just to make sure, it's this bit up here, which can be a wee bit tricky, because we're changing the time on the bottom of the fraction. Whatever we have to do to change the units, we're actually doing the opposite of that to the number in order to make sure that we're getting the correct measurement. Okay. If we then want to think about the other direction, so say we want to go from, it can be absolutely anything, so say we want to go from 200 kilometers per hour, and we want to change that into meters per second. Okay, so firstly, to get from kilometers to meters, okay, we want to times by 1,000. Okay, because if I have 1 kilometer, that's 1,000 meters, so I want to times by 1,000, and that's okay, that's going to be on the top line. If I want to get from hours to seconds, okay, again, if I know it's 1 hour, it's going to be 3,600 seconds. Okay, but I'm timesing, this is the important bit, I'm timesing by 3,600, again as before, on the bottom line. Okay, which means when I actually go to do my sum, I'm actually going to be dividing by 3,600. Okay, so taking this back down here, we're going to have 200. Okay, and we're going to do this times 1,000, all divided by 3,600. Again, you might want to cancel some zeros there, so you can lose say these 2 zeros and these 2 zeros. You could lose the 2, and the 36 then would go to 18, which means you're just left with 1,000 divided by 18. Okay, again, I guess technically no calculator, so you would just have to follow that through as best you can. So just divide top and bottom by 2, you're going to get then that's 500 over 9 meters per second. And if you did have a calculator or wrote out a calculator, you would just work that out as a decimal and give your answer. That would be 55.5 recurring meters per second. Okay, so just to get a general idea then, again, most important thing here is whatever you're doing on the bottom line, so whatever you're doing to the time, you're doing the opposite to that when you then go and multiply. Now, when you look in a textbook, they generalize it, so in essence you can just follow the rules and make sure you know what way around it is, but that's a wee bit of thinking behind what you should be doing.